channel. It is Angela and we are back with another video. So today I'm gonna do a story time for y'all and I'm gonna get a little bit triggered, but I'll try not to. So if you guys didn't see my last video, I actually did a makeup look and this look right here. That's why I'm looking a little bit crazy. This is not how I usually do my makeup. If y'all watch that video, you'll understand that your girl never plays with color. So it was actually fun though. So if you guys want to check that out, you can go ahead and do that. And also don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, let's get right into the video. So honestly, for y'all to understand, we have to start from the beginning. So the beginning is about 2 years ago, like around this time or about at the beginning of the summer. Let me give you a little bit of background on how me and my boyfriend kind of got together, but I do want to go ahead and make a separate video for that. But it basically started around this time, right? So me and him actually disliked each other for a very long time, and around the beginning of summer 2 years ago we started being friends. And we had another best friend, which was we were kind of like a trio. Things just got rough. Anyways, so we obviously hung out a lot since we were all best friends, and I started liking my boyfriend, honestly, I think maybe before we started being friends, because we went to the beach and that's kind of how it kind of started. But anyways, so back to the story. And she started liking him when we were all friends, so like her, him, and me. And then one day she was like, she made my boyfriend leave the room because we were all hanging out at her house, and she made him leave the room so she could talk to me. And he was like, okay. And she basically said, hey, I just wanted to let you know that I like. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Like, I didn't even tell her like I liked him as well, and I just felt like being a good friend and just not saying anything at all, because if it did work out between them, then I just wanted to let that happen and all that. So I kind of just didn't say anything. Plus she was my best friend. I'm not gonna go ahead and be like, yeah, I like him too, like, let's compete, you know? And then he came back in the room and she was basically flirting the whole time, and I don't know how, but then he started being flirty with her too, and I was like, what? So she basically told me to ask him if he likes her, and I basically pulled him to the corner and I was like, hey, do you like, let's call her Leaf, because I see trees, I don't know, code word. Anyways, so I was like, okay, do you like Leaf? And he was like, yeah, maybe, I don't know, yeah, I don't know. And then, so we both went back, and then obviously he started being the same, like flirting and all that, and I was just kind of there. But she was literally texting me while that was happening, and she was like stop, like make him stop, I don't like this, like this is too clingy, like make it stop. And I was like, and I was like, what, that's not that clingy, like maybe kind of, I don't know. And I obviously told him to stop, and then he eventually did. And anyways, fast forward to before we started dating. We were out to eat with one of our friends because he was gonna buy us food, and she was basically like, do you like him? And I was like, no. And then we ate our food, and basically at the end I was like, yeah, I do. And then obviously after her face expression, it kind of gave up that vibe of like, oh, that's rough, you know? Like, it was just like, well, what? I didn't think she would say yes, you know, stuff like that. And fast forward to when me and him actually started dating. Basically, basically. What happened was I started dating him, and we legit talked like, we're not gonna hold hands, we're not gonna kiss, we're not gonna act like lovey-dovey or like boyfriend and girlfriend type. He ended up not liking her, and he actually liked me, but he knew that, but he didn't think I liked him back. Anyways, that's not the whole point. But yeah, so basically what ended up happening, me and him talked that we're not gonna hold hands, not gonna be lovey-dovey, not gonna act boyfriend and girlfriend type-ish around her, like any of our friends, just so we could just keep it on that friend level like we used to be. And I think that she thought that we were gonna like hold hands and like make her jealous or something, but that was not our intention. So what happened was, me and my boyfriend felt excluded basically by her, and then one day she, because we had this group chat on Instagram, basically like DMs, like all of our friends, and then like when we're gonna hang out, like somebody meet up, like some stuff like this, right? So one day she was basically saying, I think I responded rudely to somebody, and then so she went off at me, but I was just really annoyed at the other person, to be honest. Like, I don't know why. I was just not in a good mood that day. Anyways, and she basically said like, oh, like, stop talking, Andrea, like, you don't even hang out with us. Like, since you guys are dating, you guys haven't like hung out with us, you guys ignore us, blah blah blah. But in reality, nobody asked us to do anything. Like, we would say yes to stuff if people actually invited us, you know what I mean? Like, what the heck? And so that was pretty triggering. And she was like this group doesn't hang out anymore anyways, like blah blah blah. Me and you actually have to have like a chat, like we need to chat. And I'm like, hey, like, sure. So I went on Snapchat and I was like, okay, like, hey, what's up? Like, what's happening? And she was like, not like this, in person. And I was like, okay, sure. Like, I don't care. Like, we'll talk. Like, we were best friends, so like I had nothing like against talking to her. Like, obviously I've talked to her before, I'm not like scared or anything, right? So at school, the next day, next Monday, because it was like a Saturday, so the next Monday I went to school, and I think it was like between classes, either between classes or at lunchtime, and she came up to me, okay, and she's like, can we talk? Well, she had two of my other best friends and like behind her. I thought she wanted to talk alone. Like, why is she bringing everybody else? Like, is she scared to like freaking talk to me? Cause like, girl, come on. So I literally said no. I kind of did a little hair flip and walked away. And honestly, I think that was the funniest moments of my life, because I looked at her face and she was like, you know, I was like, yes, fish, yes. But yeah, so that happened. And honestly, we stopped talking, and that is because obviously she was jealous. And I remember this one time, and she invited me and my boyfriend over to her house. But once we got outside of her house, she was like, oh yeah, to my boyfriend, she was like, oh yeah, you can't come, sorry. And I was like, what the heck? Like, you invited both of us, like. And then I was kind of basically stuck going to her house when I could have been hanging out with my boyfriend, you know what I mean? Like, he was my best friend, like, I wanted to hang out with him, plus our relationship was new and like all like excited and stuff. So ring ring the telephone, ring ring the telephone, ring ring the telephone. Anyways, and then I ended up moving to a different city, like really far away. And yes, me and my boyfriend are still together. We're doing a long distance relationship. I'm probably gonna have him come on my channel once and we can discuss about that. But anyways, for today, I'm just gonna stick to this story. But yeah, so she stopped talking to us, stopped bothering us, whatever. And then legit the day I freaking left, right? I left. And then the next day, obviously, like, my boyfriend had school, like, whatever, like, life went on, and basically what ended up happening was she started talking to him again, like, did she think like, oh, Andrea's gone, I can talk to her boyfriend now? Like, no, bitch, no. So basically, she started talking to him again, and my boyfriend was just not having it. Plus, I was really mad at him because he would sometimes, like, it was her fault because she would ask him to hang out with her alone, and that was also very triggering because one time, they went to Starbucks together, and I was hanging out with one of my other friends, one of the friends that was behind her that day. Wow. And she was at Starbucks with my boyfriend, and I was literally texting my boyfriend like, hey, can I come? Like, I want to come, like, I want to go with you. Like, I wanted to see him because I didn't see him for like 2 days, 3 maybe, you know, and like I was like, oh my god, new relationship, I gotta be with him, whatever. And he was like, yeah, we'll come pick you up like soon in a bit. And I was obviously triggered, like, who does that? And plus, this one time he went over until like 2 o'clock in the morning. So I was like very annoyed, and it's because she was like, oh, let's watch another movie and another movie. I mean, they watched Lord of the Rings, which is like a 4-hour freaking long movie, and they planned to watch that for a long time. So I understood that. I was like, okay, go, like, whatever. But he did go really late at like 9 o'clock, so they finished at like 2, like, I don't know, like at 1 or whatever. But until he got home, it was 2. And I was also really pissed about that. It was just like a sequence of events that just really triggered me and like had, like, made me have a bad feel about her. And like, you know, it was just annoying. And I understood that they were friends for a very long time. And I only lived there for like 2 years because I'll get into that in my life story video, but I have lived everywhere in this freaking world. Anyways, back to this. But yeah, so that was just a sequence of events that really bothered me. And now that she started talking to him while I moved away was really annoying because it was like, wow, like, really? You just waited for me to move away so you can talk to my boyfriend. But then in the meantime, she got another boyfriend. So I was like, don't you have a boyfriend? Why can't you leave mine alone? Like, go away. And my boyfriend basically, like, he kind of didn't want to say, like, don't talk to me. Like, he didn't want to be rude because she was still friends with, like, his friends at the time. And it was just really annoying because she would come talk to other guys, like, in my boyfriend's group of friends. And then she would be like, he won't talk to me and be like, you know, like, all like sassy and whatever. And like, obviously my boyfriend didn't care, but it was really annoying that she was there all the time. And I think at one point he did tell her to go away, which was like, awesome, thank you. And then she left him alone for a few months. For a few months. Then she came back and she would come and she would be like, what's the answer to this question? And or talk to his friends that he would sit beside, or do all of this annoying ass stuff. And then my boyfriend again told her to stop, like, I don't like you, go away. And wow, can you guess what happened next? After a few months, she again started talking to him, and yeah, again, he had to tell her to go away. And the last freaking time that she, like, went out of her way to be friends with my boyfriend was last year in September. So like 8 months ago or 9 months ago or whatever it was, right? So, or let me count, like 10 months ago? Girl, I don't know, like 9 months ago. Okay, I can't do math, okay? Especially like math about months. Anyways, so last September 2017 was the last time she triggered me. And basically what ended up happening was I get a really nice call from her, and I was actually at home. I'm actually doing online school. I can also get into that in another video. Anyways, but she basically called me, and I was like, what the heck, like, why is she calling me? So I picked up, and she was like, before you say anything or before your boyfriend says anything, well, she didn't say it like that, but before your boyfriend says anything, I just want to ask you, like, why aren't I allowed to talk to him? Blah, 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 blah. Why don't you like me? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't know. Like, and then she was like trying to guess, and I was like, okay, well, I'm mad at you because you legit left us as friends once we started dating, and you were jealous of our relationship, like, because we were together. And she was like, oh no, I didn't want your boyfriend. I was just jealous because I couldn't get with one of my boyfriend's friends. Like, blah 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 blah. All this stuff. Like, I was just jealous of your perfect relationship, like, blah, 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 blah. Like, literally, like, making up lies. And I was like, what the heck? And she was like, oh, don't worry, I don't like him. Like, why can't we just be friends? So me and him can be friends, and we can, like, be like old times. And I was like, I moved away. Like, why do you need to be friends with me? I literally moved away. When are we ever gonna talk or see each other? You know, that's what I was saying in my brain, right? And then I told my boyfriend, like, hey, she called. What the heck? When did you guys talk? Because apparently they talked on the bus. And I was like, okay, well, great. My boyfriend didn't tell me that. So I was like, when did you guys talk? Like, what happened? What did she say? And then he basically told me, like, she just asked, like, why can't we be friends? All this stuff. And my boyfriend immediately goes on Instagram and he DMs her, and he's like, why can't you just leave me alone? And then she's basically like, why can't we be friends? And he's like, we can, but I don't remember, but he said something along those lines, like, we can be friends, but blah 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 blah. And I don't have those screenshots anymore because he screenshotted it because I wanted to know what he was saying. So, and then he didn't want to, like, type in, like, oh, I said this and this. So he just screenshotted it. Anyways. And I was like, so I FaceTimed my boyfriend because while he was doing this, because he got off school, I was at home. And we always FaceTimed after school. So my phone is going roast beat. Anyways. And so I was like, why don't we just make a group chat and we can all talk about it in one little group chat. So I know what you guys are saying, and then if I'm gonna talk to her, you know what I'm saying, and all this fun stuff. Because I didn't want to know, because obviously she's nowhere to be trusted. And so I made the group chat personally myself. Oh my god, I know how to make a group chat. Go me. I'm just kidding. Anyways. And then she was like, why can't we be friends? And I'm like, why should we be friends? Like, why can't you just leave us alone? Like, it's been over a year now, all this stuff. And she was like, I just want our old friendship back. I just want to be friends with you again and, like, talk to you like we used to, and, like, how as a good friend, because honestly I miss him so much. Like, he was the best friend ever. Blah blah blah, kind of licking his toes basically. She was basically saying, like, be friends with me to be friends with him. And I'm gonna get into that. She literally said that with her own mouth afterwards, so I'm not, like, making this up or anything. Like, I wasn't just, like, a bitch for no reason. What ended up happening was she messaged me separately, and she was saying, like, I miss you so much, I wish we could be friends, like, I want to be friends again so I could talk to you about everything, and, like, we can FaceTime again and whatever. And then she said, I want to be friends with you also to know that I can talk to your boyfriend without you getting mad at me. And I was like, oh, there you go, that's the reason, boom, like, this is all bullshit. And then that's the actual reason. And that's why she talked to him the day I freaking left, right? I was basically saying, no, like, I don't want that, like, I'm good for a year and something, like a year and a half, like, you left us alone, like, you have a life, we have a life, like, it doesn't matter. And I was telling my boyfriend, like, no, I don't want to be her friend. I don't want to be her friend just so you guys can be friends. Like, I don't care. Like, you guys can be friends if you really want to, but I don't want to be her friend. Like, I don't want to. Like, you can, if you really want to, go ahead, but I don't want to be her friend. And he was basically being so sweet to her, and I was low-key so freaking annoyed. Like, he was like, we can be friends, but the only time you can talk to me is at school around other people or on this group chat. And I was like, like, I don't, like, no, I don't want to be in this group chat to be, for you guys to be friends. Like, you know, and I was like, what the heck? And I was like getting mad. And so once I said like, no, I don't want to be your friend, like leave me alone, just leave us alone, whatever, because I was getting frustrated at this point. Like, yes, I was a bitch, but I was so frustrated. I just wanted her to like go away. You know what I mean? Like, she was like obsessed. Like, she's literally one of those girls who are just obsessed with guys. Like, she needs to get a piece of every guy, and it just makes me so triggered. What ended up happening was she was upset. She's like, oh, if I'm such a big deal, then I'll just leave. And my boyfriend was like trying to be nice. And then I was actually so mad and like so sad the whole time. And my boyfriend didn't even care about me. And I was like, okay, well, this is a great freaking... After all that, he was like, yeah, I guess we just won't be friends. And then I asked him, like, I was like, did you really want to be friends with her? Like, you can if you want. And he was like, no. And I'm like... And up to this day, I think like he does want to be friends with her, but like... he won't admit it, but it's fine. Anyways, boyfriend, if you're watching this. Anyways, so yeah, I don't know. That's that. And the last thing I heard about her was actually recently. My God, she didn't talk to him, thank freaking God. But she did talk to my boyfriend's cousin. My boyfriend was telling me how he went to work and his cousin came by his work. He works at a McDonald's, and because y'all were in high school. So my boyfriend was telling me like, oh, his cousin went by and he was telling him like, do you have beef with that girl? And like, do you have beef with Leaf? And he's like, no, like, no. And then my boyfriend told me that the girl, Leaf, she basically is good friends with my boyfriend's cousin. And I'm like, what the heck? Why can't she just leave your freaking family alone? Why can't she just leave you alone? So that basically triggered me again. But I'm trying to calm down. I just want to move on. Like, I don't want to hear her name. I don't want to, you know? And yeah, that's a good freaking time. So that's kind of the story about the girl that has an obsession with my boyfriend. Well, she doesn't, but she does. And she broke up with her boyfriend, like the one that she started dating when we started dating. And then she went off with some like other guys. And then now she's back with him. And if anybody from my old school watches this ever in their lifetime, please don't guess who it is, because I won't tell you. And if it's her and you're getting mad, then maybe you shouldn't have done that. Maybe you shouldn't have done that. This was a very triggering story for me. Oh, and by the way, in the meantime, she actually did the same thing with one of my old friends. She was like her boyfriend's best friend, and like she was put in like second place because of her. And she honestly has a power to make people feel like that, and I think she's done it to somebody else that I'm friends with as well. And just not a good overall friend, if I do say so myself. And yeah, I don't know, if you guys can learn something from this, is don't let any girl come between you and your man's relationship. And if your man's dumb enough to let that happen, my boyfriend didn't. My boyfriend understood, and he's bad himself. But yeah, so I don't know. If that happens and your man's just like, why can't I be friends with her? And you can just ask him nicely, like, do you care so much about her that you can't let that go? And maybe you can compromise or something. But yeah, I feel y'all. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Like, subscribe, and comment down below what you want to see next. I hope you guys like this video a lot, because this is my first like story time video. I had a lot of fun, not gonna lie. And yeah, new videos gonna come out next week. And I'm thinking I'm gonna do a lookbook for the summer. Ooh. So yeah, stand by for that. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.
Give me